we'll have to wait and see, obviously. And I think the weekly candles are super, super important. But one of the best charts that I've seen in crypto right now is Hyperliquid. Now, if we just zoom back a couple of weeks, or last week, maybe the week before, I can't remember. I think I had this as the cherry ripe. And the reason why I had it as the cherry ripe is this here. The 200-day moving average, this red line here, it is a barometer for short, medium term, even longer term assessment of how strong is this asset. If it's above its 200, so many investors just buy. If it's just reclaimed it or it's sitting above, they go, right, still in an uptrend, still looking really good. Just overall, it doesn't have to be technically high highs, high lows, but if you're above 200, it's generally a tick in the mark of, okay, this should go higher or will stabilize. If it's under the 200, it's considered weak. It's considered in a more downwards phase. So investors like to risk off out of that until it finds a floor and starts to do its thing again. Taking that 200 on a daily and weekly close is a big deal. It did it through here, found that support, held it, and now it's using the 10 EMA to ride higher. That is beautiful. And it's broken out of this lid. Let's move on to my one to watch. And no surprise, it is Ethereum. I still think Ethereum is the barometer for altcoins. If Ethereum is going to move, then the alts, so ERC20 tokens built on Ethereum are going to move. If we're thinking about the other ecosystems, yeah, I don't know how much relevance it has, but just historically, even last year, what was last year, 2025, when we had a little bit of a pump. Let me just have a look. Yeah, June, when we had this movement through here, this was when the altcoins broadly had a pretty good patch. It wasn't anything spectacular. Ethereum went up about 132%, and some of the alts did some really powerful moves. So Ethereum still is the risk appetite gauge for crypto in my view. So Ethereum just needs to keep doing what it's doing. It's broken out. Oh, Jesus. Try that again. Ethereum has broken out of this tap, this horizontal overhead with a really powerful daily candle. All right, danger zone. We had PAX Gold on our cherry ripe list for a long time there. The rest of the ecosystems were just getting absolutely monstered. So gold was the only game in town that looked really good. Now, though, with Bitcoin waking up a little, the jaws on the Bitcoin gold ratio are now beginning to close. Gold way up here overextended, Bitcoin smashed by 50% and also getting monstered by gold. That ratio between the two has often been very close. We're seeing those jaws close, Bitcoin outperforming gold versus Bitcoin outperforming against USD and gold. That's a really important thing to see. And it's interesting to see gold weakening at the same time that Bitcoin's strengthening. So that gives it a bit of extra oomph, which is great. Now, I'm using gold here just as my danger zone because I want to show you what a uptrend technical breakdown begins to look like. And it may not continue like this, but I trade this a lot as if I'm looking to go short on something, if I'm seeing weakness. I wanted to do an altcoin based danger zone as well. Now, Tau has had a stellar run. I'm not one for shorting or being bearish on alts that have had probably one of the biggest moves out there. But I'm just going to show you something here because these things can suck you in still when you're in bear market phases. So this is Tau, lower highs. There is a close high over here, but you just see broadly the trend is down. It's like a beach ball that's getting weaker, bit of a bounce there, but weaker over time. And it's running into the 200-day moving average right now. So if we remember that altcoin that I told you was Hyperliquid that got above its 200 and looks really positive and powerful. The caveat here is because Tau's had just an epic move off these lows and 62% into the 200. If Tau continues here, if this can breach this downtrend and get above the 200, so do this.